welcome to the Listener's Nest. We are back, as promised, with the second and concluding part of Kafka and the Traveling Doll. In case you haven't heard the first part of this story, please visit the link in the description and listen to it before you listen to the second part. So let's dive straight in. In part 1, we had left Kafka sitting at his desk, holding his head in his hand, preparing to write a letter from Bridget the doll to Anna, despite the fever and the pounding in his head, his headache. Kafka had promised Anna a letter the next day, and he wasn't going to let her down. So, pen in hand, he asked himself, where would Bridget have gone first? What would she like to tell Anna? He closed his eyes for a moment, got into Bridget's shoes, tried to imagine himself in her place, and there they were, the words pouring out onto the paper like flowing water. Because this was not something he had to think through with his head. It was something he had to feel in his heart. And so it was born, the first letter from Bridget to Anna that he would read to her the next morning. My dearest Anna, the letter began. I hope this letter finds you smiling. Please don't be sad because I'm not with you. I needed to step out and explore the world, see all the wonderful places I'd only heard about, and gather experiences that will help me grow. I can't wait to share them with you, Anna. I hope you're not too upset with me for leaving so suddenly without saying goodbye. I had to do it this way, Anna, for your sake and mine. I knew it would be hard for you to let me go, and believe me, it wasn't easy for me to leave this way either. But you need to go to school, Anna, and if you came with me, everyone would worry about you. And honestly, I really wanted to do this on my own, without being in anyone else's shadow. I hope you understand, Anna, and always know that my heart is with you, wherever I may be. I'll write to you as often as I can and tell you of all my adventures. Right now, I'm sitting in a beautiful garden full of flowers in every color. And there are these beautiful tiny birds here that sing such sweet songs, they almost make me forget how much I miss you. I am in Paris, the city of lights and magic. Last night I visited the Eiffel Tower. Oh, Anna, it is even more stunning and beautiful than I imagined. It stands tall, like a giant triangle made of strong metal in the heart of Paris. At night it sparkles with thousands of lights, like wearing a dress made only of stars. This morning I had a warm croissant for breakfast. It was so buttery and soft, just the way you would love it. This afternoon, I met a lovely artist named Jeanette as I walked through the streets admiring the city. She paints pictures of the tower, the river, and all the pretty flowers in the parks. She said she might draw a portrait of me too. I told her about you, Anna, and how you always dress me up and brush my hair so nicely. She said you must be very kind, and I said, yes, you are. I miss you, Anna, and I promise to write often. Everywhere I go, I carry our memories with me. You will always be my best friend, Anna. No one will ever take your place. Even when we are far apart, our hearts will remain connected by a thread of love that no distance can break. Until my next letter then, with love and hugs, Bridget. Anna had mixed feelings when she heard Kafka read Bridget's letter. Her heart ached with sadness and longing in Bridget's absence, and with her disappearing just like that. but she felt immense relief at the same time, and even a bit of excitement at the vivid images of Paris that Bridget described. For the first time since Bridget had left, she felt a flicker of hope. Bridget was not lost. She was out there, exploring the world, writing back to her, and that thought brought her immense joy and satisfaction. From then on, Anna eagerly awaited each meeting with Kafka. She couldn't wait to hear from Bridget each time a letter came for her. Every few days, she'd meet Kafka eagerly as he handed her a new letter from Bridget. Each letter carried tales of new adventures in far-off places. Through Kafka's imagination, Bridget traveled to the far corners of the world, and Anna often felt like she was traveling with her too, thanks to his vivid descriptions of the places, the people, and situations she encountered. One letter spoke of the bright streets of Cairo, Egypt, where Bridget had visited the Great Pyramids. She described how they stood tall under the hot sun, as if guarding secrets from thousands of years ago. Bridget also wrote about the Sphinx, a creature with the body of a lion and the head of a human, symbolizing both power and wisdom. In another letter, Bridget told Anna about her time in India, where she had visited the Taj Mahal and watched the sunrise paint its white walls with shades of pink and gold. She shared stories of the people she met, whose warm smiles welcomed her into a world of many languages, diverse foods, and rich folk traditions. There was so much to explore in this beautiful country. She felt she could spend years discovering it all. Bridget also described the bustling markets, alive with colorful fabrics and the scent of fragrant spices, each corner brimming with vibrant life and rich traditions. Bridget even made it to America. In her letter, she described the towering Statue of Liberty standing proudly in New York. She visited bustling streets filled with lights, people, and fancy clubs and restaurants. And in this way, week after week, Kafka brought these letters to Anna. Each one painted a picture of a new place and gave Anna a peek into the world beyond her little town. But as much as he loved bringing these stories to Anna, Kafka knew he couldn't keep it up forever. His health was getting worse, and he didn't want to disappoint her if he couldn't continue. And so, one day, Kafka made a bittersweet decision and bought a new doll. It was beautifully dressed and had bright eyes. Since Anna had described the doll to Kafka several times, he had a fair idea of what Bridget looked like, and he had bought a doll that looked almost like Bridget, although not exactly like her, of course, but almost like her. "Anna," he said gently, "guess who's come back from her adventures?" Anna's face lit up for a moment and then clouded with doubt. She stared at the new doll in confusion. "This is not my Bridget," she said, clutching her old doll's image tightly in her mind. "She's changed, Anna," Kafka said with a slight smile. "Travel does that to you. It shapes you, makes you grow older but wiser. But deep down, she is still your Bridget," he said. "Take her, Anna. She has come back to you." Anna hesitated, but then reached out and held the doll. She wasn't sure how to feel about all this, but she took it home anyway, reluctantly, half-heartedly, feeling a strange mix of emotions. What else could she do? If this man had brought so many letters from Bridget, weaving such vivid and detailed stories of her adventures, surely he must be telling the truth. And so there ended Kafka's unique encounter with Anna, a bond sealed through stories and imagination. Years passed, and as Anna grew up, she learned who the man was who had written and read those letters to her. She came to understand the magnitude of what he had done for her, how he had gone to such lengths to protect her innocence and keep her sense of hope and imagination alive. But why had he done all this? She had often wondered. Why had a grown man, a complete stranger, spent so much of his time writing those letters for her and poured his energy into making Bridget's adventures so real, even though he was unwell and his own time was running out? At first, Anna thought it was just kindness, a way to cheer her up after she had lost her doll. But as she grew older and learned more about Kafka, she realized it was so much more than that. And then, on a quiet afternoon, long after Kafka had passed away, she discovered a note carefully hidden inside the doll he had given her. As she unfolded it, she felt a rush of emotion and eager anticipation. The message was short, it was brief, but it held a world of meaning. We will all lose the things and people that we love at some point, but love always comes back to us in different ways. Never stop cherishing it, Anna, no matter what shape it takes. Never let it go or take it for granted, no matter how it returns. Anna held the note close, her heart full of deep awe and gratitude for this wonderful man. She realized at that moment that his words, the words in the note, were not just about Bridget, they were about life itself. Losing something wasn't the end, she realized, but a chance to discover love in new and different ways. Because it was there was a lot of it, and it was only a matter of recognizing it. As Anna held the note in her hands, her heart swelled with warmth and gratitude. She smiled softly, looking out of the window at the setting sun, and whispered, "Thank you, Mr. Kafka, for giving me a whole world to believe in." This story was adapted by the Listener's Nest and read by Shireen Irani. Do please share your feedback and give this video a thumbs up if you liked the story. And while you're here, why not share in the comments some of the new words you learned in this story and what you think they mean. Thanks for listening, and see you next week.